Alright guys, BLM here, back with more Celeste. It's nighttime now, it's 11:30. I just finished editing my Star South Africa player ranking. Is currently exporting. So I might as well play some of this while we're doing that. Yeah, it is over an hour long, so that's fun. Might as well while we're here listen to podcasts too. Again, so far behind.
How old were they when they? When is it appropriate for kids to watch reality TV?
Well, I don't know. Dominic's already watching Big Brother and Survivor.
Dominic is like addicted. Where he just out of nowhere will just start talking about the what ifs of the game. It's a little
Alright,
we have a little Rob on our hands.
Where are we again?
Yeah.
And I can barely handle one.
Oh yeah, I think I did look it up. Okay, yeah. I do remember. I looked this up.
Seems like she knows what she's doing. She seems plenty athletic.
How exciting for her and her mom.
I mean, she's got like a lot of the things that JD has, where it's and I wonder though if coming from Liana, if it's a little bit less obvious that she is somebody who is that big of a threat.
Yeah.
We'll see.
She does have JD.
Here we go.
You know, very similar traits. But I wonder because
yeah, we're supposed to go up.
She'll get targeted.
Or
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if in this season, if the women will try to keep the other women in the game.
How do you do this?
I don't really have faith in women. Like, women never have each other's back.
Well, look, Survivor doesn't have to be like the real world, Nicole. And I think there's plenty of women that have each other's back. Come on, Nicole. Have some faith.
I've lost faith.
To the word faith. Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Look, I think that it might take for women to win this game again.
Together.
Making sure that that they're keeping women in the game for longer. Making sure that if they have the choice between keeping more women in the game.
I'm watching her speak, and she's just so animated when she talks. Like she's just so excited to be there.
But
okay, all right, Nicole. Let's go to one of the two people left. Okay, this is. I think you're gonna light up when we talk about Tiffany. Okay, because you know where Tiffany is from, right?
No, I don't have my.
All right, let's meet Tiffany.
Can't control these.
I'm Tiffany, I'm a teacher. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I'm 47 years old. Being a teacher has prepared me for Survivor in the best of ways because I have a group of new kids come in every year, and I have to pivot and turn and code switch based on each child, and I have to make them work together like a tribe to have my needs met. Because my mom died at such a young age, it really propelled me into this life of living every day like it's your last, because you never know. And it made me so grateful for every moment that I am breathing. And I just find the good in everything because life can be so terrible. I am pretty capable of doing things around camp, being competitive in challenges, being a social threat. So if I find the perfect mix, you guys are in big trouble.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do this then.
Okay. All right. Nicole, Tiffany is from Queens, lives in Plainview. Okay?
Your old stomping ground.
My old stomping grounds. Okay. She's 47. She is a pre-Viper.
A pre-Viper? What is that?
I believe, and I want to just make sure I have all of this correct, but she had surgery where she had basically, her mom died of ovarian cancer, and she had the genetic pattern, and she had the prophylactic double mastectomy and oophorectomy, so she preemptively took everything off and out, so she wouldn't die at the same age as her mom, as she told Mike Bloom. And so she went through all of that at 32 years old, so that was 15 years ago. She's a teacher, and she also got engaged watching
I don't know what I'm doing.
And she said yes?
Yes, and she said yes.
Okay.
Okay. So that's she got engaged. She was 12 years ago, and this was and her ex-husband took the kids, and then the guy she was dating used to come over and watch Survivor, and then they got engaged. All right. So what do you think about Tiffany?
So definitely liking the video much more than what I read in the bio. I really didn't get much from the bio. I mean, she talked about how she hates brushing her teeth and doesn't wash her face.
Yeah. Okay.
And she also
not relatable for you.
Oh no, I have a process for when I brush.
Yes. Adam Klein says, I love her, definitely one of my top winner choice picks. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love her too.
Yep.
I think it would be, a nice story for
What am I doing?
an end of the season that a teacher wins.
So, if this was a different tribe,
I looked this up earlier.
I'd be a little bit more worried about Tiffany, but I wonder if, with the dysfunction of, is Eric saying what to do? Is David saying what to do? Is Evie saying what to do? I kind of wonder, could there be enough commotion that nobody is saying, hey, let's vote on Tiffany?
Yeah, I feel like she's going to be the one that brings everybody together.
All right, you're all staying after school.
All right, kids, yeah.
Everybody, all right.
Survivor is back, and this new game is
I got Survivor fucking ad.
Sure is like a movie. Oh, sure is like a movie.
Oh, this is exporting pretty quickly, actually. South Africa video. What am I missing here? Oh, am I supposed to light all these? Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. Okay.
You get detention.
You're all on a
Writing you up.
Yeah.
Alright.
What grade does she teach? Do we know that? So.
In my head, I made it up high school.
Yes, she's a high school teacher.
In my head, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I know she's a teacher, but I don't know what grade she teaches.
Shit.
So, what do you think is the best grade to be teaching on for a Survivor player?
I don't think teaching any grade is good.
Yes. Okay. So she's like a 10th grader, so I can relate to high school kids. But I just finished teaching 3rd graders, so I can relate to them.
I couldn't imagine a room full of 3rd graders.
No.
So that's probably the most like Survivor.
Yeah, definitely. She could run
No.
a circus.
Okay. All right. Do you have high hopes for Tiffany?
I didn't until I saw the video.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah,
Damn it.
I do.
Yeah, I see how we do it now.
All
I
right.
wouldn't want to vote her out.
All right. Nicole, let's introduce you to one last Survivor. In his own words, here comes Xander.
Fuck.
My name is Xander Hastings. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. And
What the fuck? Why can't I jump?
My own company for
Oh, fuck off.
I was born a month or two after Borneo aired. I am 20, you know, and when you associate people with being young, it's like naive and experienced, and I'm trying to be anything but. I would say I've been training my whole life for this. I'm used to eating basic things like fish and rice. I run 13 miles a day. I'm in the epitome of shape right now.
Alright,
Definitely
let's
making
try this one
strategies
out, I
being
guess.
oriented around being a provider, being someone who's strong for the team, but honestly being a good presence. I want people to enjoy having me around and have fun with me. Like the same way I approach life, there's making friends and having a good time, but putting their throats in the end.
He's used to eating fish and rice, Nicole.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Here it is.
How are these young people so, smart these days?
App developer.
Yes.
Tyson said, perfect music choice again. And Emily from the circle said, let's go. You Chicago, represent, baby. That's my MF little right there.
That's my MF, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's my MF little. So he's in the same fraternity as Emily from the circle. Is that correct? And Jonathan says, my favorite male name ever, Xander. So neat to have one in the family now. Good luck, buddy. That's his favorite male name. Xander.
What's your favorite male name? David?
I mean, it's kind of like a generic name, you know? Like, there's a lot of great names out there.
Yeah.
No, wow, I almost had it that
So,
time.
What's your favorite male name?
Never really thought about it.
Alright. Nicole, how you feel about Xander?
I'm getting real
Oh, I got
Travis vibes from him.
Yeah,
There
so
we
Travis
go.
is also a long-hair app developer from Big Brother this season, like sort of a
And
Silicon
selfie, yeah, and
bro.
Travis's words, not mine, the white man with abs.
Yes, okay, they tend to do better on Survivor. And on Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so, boy, Xander runs 13 miles a day.
That's a lot.
Physical condition.
Yeah. And he's kind of cocky. Yeah, although we really weird that his pet peeves are cocky people.
Yeah. So, I feel like that Xander, on the
Were you
surface,
doing
seemingly,
anything?
has no chance.
He's done.
I do wonder, like, in a season now, in a normal Survivor season, there's like 3 Xanders.
Yeah.
Now there's 1. Maybe there's
No.
JD. Maybe you look at him as another Xander.
Yeah.
Because there's only 1, is there a bigger target or a smaller target on him?
I think there's a bigger target on him.
But I think it's sort of like in the past, you worry about like, all right, well, when he gets to the merge, he's going to team up with the other young bros and really,
I don't even think this guy's making it to the merge.
he's out before them.
Yeah.
Now again, the game is going to be hard. It's a 6-person tribe. He's in the train wreck tribe.
Is he the youngest? Oh no.
Him and Liana are the 2 20-years. 2
Yeah.
20-years in this tribe.
I don't think Liana's gonna put up with his crap.
So you're not feeling great about
I'm
Xander?
not feeling great about Xander. I did not like Travis. I did not like Travis.
Yes, I think you told us.
Yeah.
In fairness to Travis, I don't know what he really did on the show that makes you dislike him so much, but that's another story.
It's the gut feelings I get.
Yeah, okay. We only know a lot about Travis because Dominic has rewatched the first 4 episodes of Big Brother 23 only about 9 times.
No, it's like 23 times.
Yes. Like, why are we starting from week 1 again? We've seen Frenchie's HOH so many
there it
times.
is.
I feel like he's getting life lessons.
Again,
from
like, I didn't
Brother,
realize. So I guess
and
these
possibly
lights.
also
Ah,
from
fuck off. I
Survivor
guess
when he
these,
starts
like,
watching it,
lights we have to turn on.
Has little 7-year-old boy brain.
No,
when
what
he's
the
watching
fuck?
these shows with grown-ups and watching how life works and different language, how relationships are, and he's like, it's quite an education that he's getting, and I'm not quite sure I like it.
I mean, it's gonna be a real experiment.
Yes, he's obsessed with crushes.
Yeah, well, okay, well, we don't need to explore that right now. All right. Is Xander gonna be obsessed with crushes?
Probably.
I'm fucking
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really looked at, like, potential showmances in any of these tribes. I mean, I feel like, Yeah, and I feel like this is not going to be a very showmancy season.
Yeah.
Perhaps, you know,
There was no mention of even showmances.
I mean, it's sort of an over-reported story that there are showmances on Survivor, and actually it's kind of a rarity when we do get it. Maybe JD could be a showmance contender.
I feel like these people are here to play, though.
You know,
Although I'm sure it does get lonely at night.
it's cold.
And it's cold.
And it's cold. Maybe the 20-year-olds here, Liana
Maybe.
and Xander.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, but I'd be surprised if we get a showmance on this season. All right. Nicole, anything else you want to say about Xander? Would you let Xander babysit?
I bet he'd be a good babysitter.
Okay, yeah, I mean, he's not that much older than
You can play sports with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, there's Xander. All right, Nicole.
We did it.
We did it. 18 Survivors preview.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
No.
I don't get what I'm doing.
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
You were high on so many of the Survivors along the way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Danny, the football player.
Oh. Wait. Am I just being an idiot? Oh, fuck off. It is that one. Oh, fuck off. Okay. Alright, I didn't realize it was this one. You let her just shoot up. I wasted way too much time.
Or the ex-football player. I liked Heather.
Yes.
And I liked Ricard, but I didn't know I liked him until the video.
Okay.
So that kind of threw a wrench in things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a tough exercise.
Yeah.
It's a good cast.
Right, but I think I'm gonna stick with.
Hold on, you're gonna give us somebody?
Well, so there's Ricard. He's in my top.
Yeah, in your top 3.
Wait, I'm not sure how many I have.
Okay.
JD. I didn't like him.
Yep.
There's Heather.
Oh, I get it.
Yep, those are the people.
Oh, maybe not. I thought that would
I
work.
didn't know I liked Tiffany either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna go with Heather.
Great.
Really?
You got me. Okay. This is harder than I thought it would be. I really want to pick a woman because I feel like that.
A woman needs to win.
But you know, I'm having trouble picking, you know, who that woman could be. I like Heavy. I like Liana as a potential winner candidates. I feel very good about Sarah, but I felt less good after we watched Chantel. Another good contender.
Gotta pick one.
But
How am I
really
supposed to
been
get
between
back?
these two the whole preseason.
On the season?
JD. I can't overlook Ricard. Everything is saying like, okay, Ricard is the guy who knows the show. He's the diamond with scratches on
He's
it.
the flight attendant that'll take
How the fuck am I supposed to do
He's a
this?
flight attendant. He's like he's strong, but he's not too strong. Like I feel like that. I just like I really want to pick a woman, but I just feel like that. I can't find anything that's saying not to pick Ricard.
It's a strong pick. Is that your final
I'll
answer?
pick Ricard.
Right. Ricard versus Heather. It's on.
It's all. All right, Nicole.
Robert.
What's next for you? Do you have anything you want to plug?
Not really. I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, Nicole Sestrino. Got some stories in there about our crazy life. That's about it.
That's about it.
You can become a patron and listen to me every week.
Oh, you can call every week on the Patreon 5 for 5. Talk about everything that's going on in the World of Rock's podcast. Get back to the curtain. We take questions from the patrons every week.
We drink some alcohol
Once in a while.
you know,
I rarely drink on the podcast.
but when he does,
Yeah, I mean, I'm driving. You know, I gotta, you know, like there's a lot of machinery because I think that I would just be, if I ever made a podcast and then something went wrong, we couldn't use it, I think I would just like just be inconsolable.
How am I supposed to get through this?
yeah. But you get to hear us banter.
Like, how am I supposed to get through this? I legitimately don't know.
And then
Oh, there,
So much
okay.
coming up this week for Survivor. I'm so excited for the new season.
Oh.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to watch it.
I haven't been podcasting
Whoa,
about new Survivor
okay.
in a year and a half.
You need it.
By the way, we've been podcasting up the wazoo about Big Brother all summer long.
All summer.
And there's still a lot of Big Brother left.
Is there?
Yep. 2 weeks of Big Brother are still left.
And that's, what, 6 episodes?
It might be 5 or 6. But this Wednesday night, I'll be live with Steven after the 2-hour premiere of Survivor 41, and then Taryn Armstrong will be hosting our Big Brother recap later on that night. And that episode of Big Brother will air at 10. So look for Taryn in the recap around 11:15, 11:30 coming up on Wednesday. So it'll be a late night on Wednesday.
So I will not be seeing you.
I mean, probably not.
So,
Okay? Don't wait up there.
that's really
Okay? I mean, it's a whole different ballgame on the East Coast. I work a lot of late nights now.
I barely see this man.
I mean, what are you gonna do? This is the sacrifice I make for my art.
So your spoken word.
Spoken word. That's right. All right. This was very fun. Can't wait for the draft coming up on Sunday night. We'll have so much more going on. Of course, check out everything we've got on over on Patreon. RobbinsWebsite.com/Patreon.
Too early.
We're gonna have a lot of fun
it's
in
done.
our Patreon community coming up.
That was
Also,
quick.
you
I'm
can also
surprised
work
that actually
on our Patreon orientation. Where I'll walk you through
exporting that
all of
quickly.
the different benefits of becoming a patron, and we also do some Q&A, a little bit of
I just still gotta
orientation,
upload it.
meet and greet that we do. That's going to be coming up the weekend after Survivor. We will be doing our patron orientation for the month of September. Hope to see you there if you're a new patron. If not, we got so much more coming your way. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Support for this podcast comes from our friends over at Geico. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and it's hard work, but you know it's easy. Bundling your policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too. You're busy enough. Go to geico.com and get a
Fantastic idea boy is incredibly unique of a player that I felt like when I was watching his confessionals, I wasn't thinking about anybody else. And so I do think he gets the reward on that merit.
I do want to say for George and Emmett and Joey, who were these lives in the life characters, and yes, we're like definitely maybe putting on a show in confessional, like they showed up to my
Damn it.
exits, and they were the person I saw on TV, to the point where I think I said to every single one of them, I was like, oh, I'm in the TV now. Like,
No!
it was
Oh, fuck off.
exactly as I had seen it, that it just felt like, okay, now this is like too close to home, like where's the barrier? So that was just an interesting thing from, especially Emmett. I was like, oh, you're Emmett. Okay, you are like this, and you do the voice? Okay, cool. I didn't realize that was like put on.
To the voice. Yeah, Emmett is like that in real life as well.
Yeah.
It's like, he was like that in Drew Villa. He sat down and again, I knew nothing about it, never met him before, and I was like, whoa, you're Jim Carrey in the mask. Like,
Yeah.
Alright.
It's like that. It's great. It's entertaining. I
There
can't
we
around
go.
on it. Okay, this one's gonna be.
That definitely didn't waste a lot of time.
Get over it, and I'm like, never ever. The Medallion of Power Award for stupidest twist of this season. I added a lot to this in the
oh my
Google
god, there are so many. Yeah.
Yes, 6 people leave the first tribal council. 4 immune.
I don't think that's a bad.
Leaves the double tribal council. 3 immune.
Alright, let's just do a checkup on the video.
Scheme of things is again that would be a slightly different some credit for not falling for what that are impressive to majority of the initial.
This is gonna be such a controversial list. Whatever, alright, it's done. Alright, so let's upload it. Ah, fuck, I don't have Chrome open.
Necklaces into one person voting 5 amazing. 5 immunity necklaces in one challenge. Burns and save scroll. Redemption rock. Being able to pass idols after you are voted out. And Nick's favorite, Medivac community. Those are all the twists, I think. What do you think?
Can I just wax lyrical for a little bit here?
Yes.
Yes, please do. Wax away.
It's not late.
People carrying on about Medivac immunity.
Nick, I was that person.
No, I know. This is a thinly veiled way of
Shannon
talking.
Gus.
You. It's like, what do you want from us as Survivor players? Like, have freaking shit.
Okay, no, that's not. I did not know what had happened. Like, I feel like that's unfair because I was like extremely upset to hear that because the way that it was portrayed to us as viewers was like a stomach problem. Like,
I know, but
you know
of
what I'm saying?
course, like,
That was like shocking to read. I feel like, oh, okay, that was like really different to what
But
we've
these
been talking about
decisions-
for a week.
there's so much that happens on Survivor that is like, the audience is never privy to it because it's like really personal moments that the show does protect its players in a way that is not breaking the game, but it's like giving people dignity, and I appreciate that about the show. Like, and Medivac immunity, it makes a mockery of the fact that like Survivor players are real people who go through real things out there, both psychological and physical, and who need like a bit of grace. If they're not, trust me, no Survivor is choosing to go out and get Medivac immunity. Like, this is the show making a responsible choice for its players, and then if it's not explained properly in the show, I know that's frustrating as viewers, but like, clearly something else was going on there. Like, they glossed over it to a degree that was, like, really shocking. Like, I know that, like, she missed out on a tribal council and stuff like that, but where do we, you know, draw the line at, like, these people are, like, for our entertainment, just, like, circus freaks that, you know, put them on, throw peanuts at them, and then we kind of yank them off and pull them out. Like, one of the things that has always stuck with me is the look on Jonathan Penner's face when they had to pull him out of the game. And, like, that is not someone who ever wants to leave the game. Now, is that what we want? Like, is that what we want from our Survivor players? Someone gets an injury, and because they have to go get medical help, they're pulled from the game even though they're going to be fine tomorrow? Like, that just seems so counterproductive to good television, to freaking humanity, like the humanity of Survivor players as people, and it just really riled me up. I didn't know what happened to Georgia. I had no idea. I didn't even know that she had been medically removed from the game for a period. I didn't know there was an issue. This is nothing from Curry. But surely, like, we can avoid all the jokes and the things when someone is having a really traumatic and emotional physical moment.
I would like to defend, because you're talking about like what we did. Like, it was extremely upsetting for me to find out what had happened to her to that extreme. The next week, after spending the week laughing about medical immunity, like on a personal moment, like I was so upset that day, and like I feel the way that the show presented it was like, I don't know how else they would do it, but it was just something we've never heard happen before, and something that doesn't happen on international franchises like the US. So it was just that super fans were like, oh okay, and the way he's like, as you know, she has medical, you know, leave, and we're like, oh, does she? And like they completely glossed over any illness. She comes back, he's like eating at the Mexican feature award. Like they made it seem like so chill.
No,
it is her personal stuff, and maybe we should have been like, wow, she seemed really sick, but like she didn't seem really sick because we didn't see it. So I was like, is the show trying to get me to like make me look like a bad person, where I come on my like sizable platform and joke about this, and then they're like, she had the most traumatic thing ever, and I'm like, oh, let's just burn the podcast and just burn this whole job. That's how I felt. Like, it's not funny. Like, that's genuinely, I was like, what am I doing? And that's genuinely how I felt. So like, I just thought the way the show presented it was just like,
I get that.
I don't know what to do with this, you know?
No, I get that, and it is an unfortunate thing, like what happened to then be like, oh wow, people were making jokes out of it. No one intentionally was doing that. But like, forget the actual trauma of what happened. What if it was just a stomach bug? Or what if it was something? Would we have preferred her to be pulled from the game?
Yes.
Completely gone?
Yes.
Removed completely? You know, on two levels. One, as a TV viewer, is that satisfying? Hell no. Is that satisfying what happened to
And
Chelsea?
then we have to have another non-them. That's
fuck off.
Is that satisfying what happened to Chelsea? No. I much preferred her to take her 24 hours, whatever it was, get better, and then come back and be able to kind of like have a satisfying conclusion as a TV viewer, and then as a human being, the fact that like she gets that satisfying moment for herself to come back and not pulled because she was dizzy, whatever happened to Chelsea or what happened to Penn. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just hate that. Like, yeah, I know I'm ranting now, and like we.
Well, you know, it is hard because it's like they don't have the episodes from a production perspective. Like, they don't have the episodes to medevac people. It just means more audience, which none of us want. It just felt at the time it was like, this is breaking the game. Like, she just misses tribal council. That never happens, and through like no strategic needs. But then later on, one person voted. So like, what is
Yeah, no, I don't think
like, in hindsight, it looks tiny now.
It's odd to say that, like, because the devastation was internal, it was a tougher thing to swallow, because this was an excuse for many Survivor alumni to come out of the woodwork, right? Harry even did this when he was on the podcast with you, Shannon, right? Being like, there were several points, I couldn't get up and do a challenge, I had to basically, like, forfeit the challenge because I could barely do anything, and they still wouldn't take me for medical attention. You know, if we saw someone like a Penner get this, like, gaping infection on their leg, I think then a fandom as a whole would be like, oh yes, this makes absolute sense. Why you would, take them away to treat the wound. But I think, unfortunately, much like with Chelsea too, right? Like, it came out of nowhere, it was all happening on the inside, and so we can't really play Doogie Howser and assess, like, well, it's not that bad. She should be able to come back into the game. I think it was a tough assessment to make, but I do agree with you. I think, on the whole, Nick, when it comes to just treating survivors better, that speaks to the editors as well. You know, if you're talking about like dance monkeys dance, I think unfortunately the storytelling plays right into that.
Definitely.
It was a hard week
Sorry to
for
bring
the
this up.
podcast about Survivor when they were like, heel turn, trauma thing, and you're like, oh, so glad I spent hours talking about this thing. Anyway, it is what it is. It's not about me.
That being said, by far the worst is 3 people winning immunity and only
Worst
being able to
twist in
vote, and then
Survivor.
only one person being able to vote via fire making. I think if you throw Redemption Rock on there, it makes for like the triple crown of badness. But I think if we're separating it out, it
Yeah,
still makes it
I
the
think
worst
what I'm gonna
choice.
do tomorrow. So tomorrow I might have some stuff going on. Not 100%. But I'm thinking even if I don't,
We're used to that. That's almost like
I think what I'm gonna do is
furniture.
probably try
I
to
actually did
record
mine at 6
the remainder of the
people
Big Brother
leave the first tribal. Like, it's not my first choice
review
on
and the
this
circle review.
list,
So
like,
that might take up some time.
The 4 people immune decide who leaves at the double tribal council. The 3 immunity necklace, the 5 immunity necklace.
Yeah, it's funny.
Those three to me are like far and away all terrible. And the first one, the one that you guys said to me is the worst.
Yeah, and that's, it's tough because again, like, George wants to come in and make this argument of how challenges don't matter, but when you have several choices predicated on people winning challenges being the ones who have the power, that really shifts the narrative, right? Of like, well, you don't have power because you weren't safe in this tribal council, you didn't, you weren't one of the 3 people immune who got to vote Baden out. Like, it stinks that a lot of the twists this season were based around, okay, challenge winners are safe, or challenge winners have all the power.
Yeah. Very physical. That seems to be a running theme through these twists. The Stu Hawk Award for Best Juror at Final Tribal Council, I gave Danny, Emmett, and Cara. I thought Cara's question was just hilarious, but this is a bit of a difficult one. Probably Emmett, like, he stands out. Like, you remember his question.
Yeah, I think Emmett, for me, was the microcosm of how George did not do particularly well in that final tribal council, so I might go with that. Danny, I think, was the most vocal. Like, I actually think she was one of the best jurors and actually chiming in. You know, Nick, she did not be like the, screw the, the etiquette. I'm just going to talk here. Being like, oh, I'm so glad you talked about bringing up regrets. But I think Emmett's question is probably the one I either liked the most or, like, was a good sum up of how the jury viewed George's game.
I agree.
Alright, great. The Boston Rob Award for most likely to win on another try. I've got Haley, George, Simon, also trying to think of people who might play again. Simon, Blake, Danny, Emmett, and Shannon. And I honestly feel like I might go Haley. I back her. And I think she'll play again, and I think she's that good. I think she could be a 2-time winner.
I would go, I think I might go with Simon. I think Simon has David upside here of the, big alpha male who's good at challenges. Like, we forget, he was a star of those brawn challenges, even, like, the dexterous ones of just throwing beanbags down a tunnel. And I think he makes, a boneheaded move, gets voted out because of it, and then we could come back for another season as a fan of the show, be like, okay, I know what I did wrong, and then play his way to a really dominant game.
You weren't here,
I
right?
disagree.
What's
I
up
think
here?
that now the perception of Simon is that, like, oh my god, like, he got voted out with 2, and I feel like that would follow him, and people would want to try and do that to him again because people are cruel. So, not that I don't believe in Simon's ability, I love Simon. I think that I can't see him winning.
there we go.
I'm actually going to throw a different name out.
You had
it. It's on the list.
Okay.
I'm going to say Flick. Simply because I think Flick, for all the reasons we said earlier, has a huge big tick in the social, big tick in the physical. I think the thing that she struggled with is the strategic. And of the 3 components that hold up Survivor, the pillars, that one is the most easily learned. So I think that you put Flick out there again. She's not in danger of going home in the early game because she is so strong, and everyone loves her. And I think she has the drive to get there. And I think that just with she's proven she can find idols. She's proven she can have alliances. It's just now that she just needs to kind of like find that next level. So of all those people, I'm backing Flick.
Let's see.
I think even Deflation was my winning this season, which I think went really well. She could be again. I'd love to see her play without the weight, or with the weight reduced from what she had. I think that's a different game, and we don't know what that looks like. But
I don't know if Wade's playing again, Shannon.
You know what I mean?
Is that the 6 or 7 people we are saying are the returnees from this season?
I kind of try to do like they could come back, and also they could do well if they come back.
So is there anyone else
No.
not on that list who we would imagine? So we've got Haley, George, Simon, Blake, Danny, Emmett, Shannon.
maybe Joey?
Yeah, I think Joey.
I think Joey was... Yeah, Joey and Simon were the Joey, Simon, and Shannon were the three biggest characters of the pre-merge. I think Shannon's another pick of someone who I don't know if she necessarily had the physical, if I remember correctly, because of her small frame. I think she was one of like the last people to finish all of those brawn challenges, but I think she's also someone who would come in and be like, okay, I played way too hard, way too fast out of the gate.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a chance. There's a realm where we see Kara play again. I don't know. I feel like that's awesome.
It was just so tied to George. Like, is she coming back with George? I see that. I don't know if I necessarily see it as much with just her, but yeah, maybe. The Sanity is Fine Award for Best Lie. So I've got Haley's 50-50 idol and keeping it, not doing 50-50. It's gonna be hard for me not to do that one, to be honest. George's secret idol with playing for Kara, which no one believed, but it was fun. Gavin hiding his mistaken vote. I went way back.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You guys could see this before. The Braun 2.0 blindside of Simon, them all like lying to Simon in the blindside, and George being the double agent to Braun at the Kez vote.
I say George lying to Braun at the Kez vote. Because there were so many lies he had to keep track of.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the 50-50 idol because of what happened after it. Like, Haley, despite the Braun strong mentality, just needed that small gust of wind to prevent all the viruses from spilling out of the door frame, and Haley essentially saying, it has to be one of you tonight, we're immune, caused everything to spill over.
Again,
I think if
that
they
was
don't
such a
vote
fucking
Shannon
obvious
out
thing,
at that
though.
vote, if they go down
Whatever.
to Haley or Baden, then I don't think Simon gets voted out. Like, I think
I
it really
legitimately
set
like
forward
don't get how
this
people
chain of
credit.
dominoes for the rest of the pre-merge that kept Haley in a
He's
very
like,
comfortable
what is
position.
the other move? Like, she literally, everyone
Also,
knows
so
she has
fun,
an idol.
I heard her on a podcast a year and a half ago, and then I saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And I asked Haley, I'm like, did you listen to that podcast? And she did. So that made me
Right. Can I just ask though, is it best lie as in best lie as the concept for the lie, or most believable way that you actually lied?
No one has ever put enough thought into this to know.
Because I think they're two different things, right? I think that Haley's 50-50 idol, I think many people thought, well, okay, well, she's like, could be a bluff, but it also couldn't. So it's like, I'm afraid, so we'll vote elsewhere. So I feel like that one was like, yeah, well, I could be lying or I could not be. Whereas I think the George lying to Braun was like, no one would have seen that coming as a lie. Like, I feel like he actually did the best job keeping the lie going, as opposed to just freaking someone out with his abilities and then everyone kind of like falling into line.
That's true.
damn it.
Like a
Alright.
juror, whatever
Yeah, that's it.
criteria you base it on is what you can give.
Good point.
Yeah. Okay, the Jenna Raska Award for Best Fashion Moment. George's bowling whites that they talked about. George's dog and flowers shirt. JLP's new hat. Had to put that in. That got some mentions. Emma's yellow underwear stuff. That you know what I'm talking about. And the jury wearing food clothes, like Gerald's hot dog shirt. I'm like, this is good strategy. Like, make them hungry. Very intelligent.
And it's yellow.
Yeah, there's literally no... Like, I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, if you want to, like, go as a Survivor player on Halloween this year, what fashion item would make you so well known? They're like, oh, you're Emmett. If you wear a buff and somehow find those yellow underwear, like, they'll know you're Emmett. It's the most recognizable piece of clothing. I don't know if it's the best fashion moment. Probably not. But it is recognizable, and so it wins.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's George's dog shirt with his buff pulled over his
Oh, the buff, yeah. I don't think the buff in that way is innovative.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I'm gonna give it to the shorts. I mean, I feel like the shorts most
Shorts good to see.
I mean, to be fair, the dog shirt also was sold for charity to benefit dementia research. Emmett did not
sell the underwear?
Emmett did not sell his skivvies.
Yeah, no one wants those, yeah.
Good to know. Well, I mean,
No, I think
people would buy
people
it.
do want those.
People would buy it.
They were so unflattering.
Well, other people might disagree and other people might buy it. I'm not saying I'm
Oh shit, we're over 30.
other people. Now I'm just like incriminating myself. I don't even know why.
Fuck.
The Nick Iadander Award for most likely to say the RHAP, B&B, or Survivor Global. Who's going to be on this podcast? Got Haley and George, who will be on this podcast in the next week. But you guys, Simon, Shannon, Phil, and Way.
Phil would be a great podcast guest. I think Phil has a really great
Oh, I
personality.
didn't realize there was a
It
thing on
still
top.
really sucks for them. They got absolutely hosed in that first tribal council. Say what you want to about the twist. I just felt terrible for Phil, who at least had one more episode in them. But I think Phil is enough of a quirky personality that would suit really well for a podcast setting.
I mean, Haley, I feel like is a she's a good recap guest going forward. Like, I feel pretty good about Haley.
Oh yeah, Haley's good for Survivor Global.
Yeah.
I do think that George or Phil would probably be better for a B&B goofier setting.
I'd like to see all of them.
Yeah, all good choices. All good podcast guests. Well, that is the Puglies 3 hours into this podcast, as they do Heroes vs. Villains in like 7 hours from now. Let's get to the Chizzy. Okay, let's do it. Take it away, Jacob. Take a YC.
Might just set up the Big Brother review, because that'll probably be what I work on next.
So I don't have points. Laura, the Chizzy raffle winner, has points. Would you like those points first, or do you want to give yours first?
No. You gotta save that for last.
Okay, alright.
That's the main course.
Okay, Mike, what are your points?
Alright, this was incredibly easy to do, in my opinion. For many reasons, I wish we'd been talking about the last 3 episodes, because that's where things get a little dicier. But there's no contest for me. 2 Haley, 1 George, 1 Flick, right?
No.
We're doing 2-1-1, because there are 3 of us. Your favorite form of voting. Super simple. You would say like, I still think Flick deserves that 1 point because of the effort she was able to give, and sort of like a commemorative point for just everything she had to deal with over the course of the game. Nor do I think there were any jurors that I think would deserve the point above her. So yeah, I'm just gonna divvy it out to the final 3.
No, oh my god, I fucked that up.
I would love to offer a counterpoint to that, but I'm gonna do the exact same.
Alright, so I'm just doing the math on that. So, these are Laura's points. They didn't want to send in an audio file, but they wrote this and I will read it out. Hi Shannon, hi Nick, hi Mike. My name is Laura and it's an honor and privilege to be among 3 absolute legends. I feel so lucky to be chosen out of dozens and dozens of people. There were over 100 people who donated to Flick's GoFundMe. Oh, I guess not. There were over 100 entries. There were a lot of people. So proud of this community for donating over $1,000 to an amazing cause. I'm so glad that this one-of-a-kind season has reached its end. It's truly the season of high highs and low lows. With that, I will now give my Chizzy points. 2 points to Flick. I cannot imagine the strength it took to stay in the game after hearing that your mom passed away. It's an unbelievable accomplishment that she made it all the way to the final 3 while bearing the weight on her shoulders. Completely agree. That's great points. 1 point goes to Phil for being the first victim of many absolutely horrendous twists this season. I pray to the Macedonian Jesus that they get a second chance. And my last point goes to Sunsney, the meme icon who knows how to Once again, I'm just so grateful that I'm part of something so historic and so incredible. I just hope that my points do some serious damage to the Chizzy's integrity. Bye.
No.
Mission accomplished, Laura. Legend.
Yeah.
Laura, you are an absolute legend because I have been trying to undermine the integrity of the Chizzy since its inception, so you are speaking my language.
Yeah, you have done what Nick and I could not do. Like, you have successfully broken the wheel from that perspective. Welcome, Santini, to the Australian Survivor Chizzy.
Yeah, so random people who does a challenge, you're gonna have to add Sunsney in.
She better be on that visual.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then do Shannon/Laura for the points, because they're my points that Laura has, who gave out the points this week. So the chance. Haley won the Chizzy, 30 points. Very well deserved. She, I think, was the best player of the season and the winner of the season. So fitting.